No, no, no.
In the previous episode, we left Bogotá after picking up Pantera, after having sent her from the United States to Colombia to continue the journey to Argentina. We went through an abandoned train route full of history and some difficulties that ended up happening. Just a few things. The wire caught me. I already had the suitcase out, that one on top of the wheel. It was left hanging in the air. Oh, I can't believe it, Chivita. Right off.
No.
Oh no. No.
No. No.
No. This is clearly wrong.
Está mal.
From there, we continued our route to San Gil, where we made our first stop. We woke up in San Gil at Omar's house, a great friend who always welcomes me every time I come by here. Heavy Pantera, good morning to everyone. Now, with all my pleasure, see you later.
Nos vemos.
Bye, Masito. Bye, Pito. See you. Bye, Adri.
Nos vemos.
We're heading out one more day on the road, one more day toward where we're going, toward Cúcuta. We're heading to the border with Venezuela. But first, we're going to visit a little bit, a path I've marked out, between rivers and mountains. We're going from San Gil, the adventure capital. We're leaving the city of San Gil. San Gil has a lot of ups and downs, and the main road passes very close to the river. Yes, you can see it here on the Osman. This is the Osman on the map I use. But look at the slopes it has, because San Gil is located right on the sides of the riverbed. So it grows both up one side of the mountain and up the other side of the mountain as well. That's the side we're coming down. We already have a full tank, a very happy heart. What more could you ask for? Everything is more than perfect. No rush, but with a good rhythm toward a new destination that was recommended to me and that I didn't know. But get ready, because it's going to be very, very hot. Trucks and trucks, there sure are a lot. I'm going to leave a bit of distance because we really have to fly. Here, on the curve. No one's coming. Look, let's go. We're heading out. We're leaving the main road and going to an area. Really hot, I'm telling you. Really hot, obviously. Land that I love, land of course, with a bit of asphalt mixed in, but here we are. The last time we had really extreme heat was in the United States, do you remember? In the desert, when we found a man whose motorcycle had broken down and we towed him, well, that was the last extreme heat we had. It was around 45 degrees, it was really tough. That was really tough. And, well, and now we're getting close to that kind of climate again, not right now exactly, but well, in these days we were going to be experiencing those climates with very high temperatures. We're passing through an area that's more agricultural than livestock, with a lot of farmers. It's a place where there are many local coffee growers. The climate allows it. Here it's usually found in hot areas. Wow, it's a beautiful little road and all of this is downhill. Now the whole descent starts, so we're going in first gear. I'm trying not to touch the brakes so we don't overheat them, although Pantera's brakes don't overheat anyway. But anyway, mainly to avoid wearing out the brake pads too much, because with all the weight we have, you can't imagine how much the brake pads suffer. So, I always try to take care of them as much as possible. Hi. How are you?
Good.
Everything okay?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Sebastian Villanueva. Let me ask you something. Is most of the production here coffee?
Coffee?
Yes, coffee, right? Is that coffee?
No, that's chicken manure for fertilizing. Oh,
Fertilizer, right? Yes.
The coffee is already done. Already.
El café ya pasó.
It's already done.
Until December.
Until December. Great. What's your name?
Raúl Sarmiento.
Raúl Sarmiento, nice to meet you. Sebastian, thank you. I'll continue. Well, as I was saying, I see a lot of coffee plants here, but they've all been harvested. Look at this beautiful road and notice that they've had to pave it here because it must get rough. The soil here is very loose. This soil with mud is, you can't imagine what it's like. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. This is not just a road, it's a journey to the past. Curve after curve, we descend into the heart of Santander. You can feel the solitude and the greatness of the mountain. With this route, we're going all the way down there, all the way to the river. This is the Chicamocha Canyon. I'll be telling you more about the history soon, but this was an extremely important place for the economy of that time. Hello. It's tough on a bike, huh? Climbing this, you really have to push yourself, huh? I love it. I'm telling you, I had my phases. Until I bought a motorcycle, until I was 18 years old, my means of transportation was riding in a Dodge. A Dodge car? No Dodge Patash. It was pedaling. I remember I used to go everywhere. Well, you can already start to feel the heat here, huh? We're already at 30 degrees and it's going to keep rising. Well, we're already less than a kilometer away from this town, which is like a ghost town that's here called Jordán. We're coming down in first gear, full throttle. You see, downshifting is always very important to use on descents, not just because of, mainly for safety, right? So that the vehicle generates traction, whether it's a car, a truck, a motorcycle, whatever. It gives you better control of the vehicle and also helps prevent the brakes from overheating. Look at these giant walls. We're crossing paths. Whoa, careful, the rock. Now we're here. Welcome to this little ghost town called Jordán. Look at this main street with stones. It's amazing. It's really hot, huh? It's really hot down here. We're entering what is the historic center, right? These buildings we're going to see, the oldest ones, are made of clay like these, and they date back to 1822, these buildings. I mean, it's a really tiny little town. This is the main square of the town with a beautiful fountain. Look how well everything is taken care of. I mean, you must have noticed it's like a ghost town, literally. Look at this bridge, which has a very, very rich history. Let's take care of our heritage. Motorcycles are not allowed. No type of motorcycle can cross. And look how wide the bridge crossing is. Look.
El río fluye, nunca solo está. El río fluye, nunca solo.
We are in Jordán. We are right in the historic center of this ghost town, you could call it, which is one of the most remote in Colombia. In this town, between the historic center and the surrounding areas, 1,100 people live, but only 100 people live in this part of the town. Just imagine how small it is that this part is the historic center exactly, and we can see a very old type of architecture from the 19th century. The town was founded in 1822. Notice how everything is made of clay with mesh and very weathered wood. Many of these buildings are unused and abandoned, and many others are, like this inn, for example, which has been remodeled and in perfect condition. Music. This bridge we see here is one of the main jewels, and I would say it's the main jewel here in Jordán. Why? But not only of Jordán, of all Colombia, because this was the first suspension bridge with steel cables in Colombia. Yes, just as you're hearing. And down here we have none other than the Chicamocha River, and this whole area is called the Chicamocha Canyon.
My love is honest and faithful. It has no boundaries and nothing more.
This bridge is only for pedestrians and also for animals to cross. But when a muleteer has to take or bring cattle, they can cross here too. But just imagine that this bridge was built in 1964. This bridge was extremely important because it made trade between Bucaramanga and Bogotá easier. They had to cross the Chicamocha River. Just imagine that this river was not so easy to cross at that time. This bridge has made everything absolutely easier. But I have an even more interesting fact. This is not only the first suspension bridge in Colombia, but we also have the first toll in Colombia. Yes, just as you're hearing it, this one we see here is the first toll in Colombia, and at the time they charged tolls to pedestrians, mules, horses, and also for cargo, right? Obviously, if you came with cargo, the toll was much more expensive. Look at this here. Well, I'm not going in, I'm kind of crouched down. Notice the height differences. This one is for taller people, that one over there is for shorter people. Incredible.
How much history has no borders and no evil? The river never just flows, it's not just there, it's not just there.
All the construction you see here maintains its originality, but it was restored about 20 years ago to leave it in better condition. And well, today it's obviously a World Heritage Site and it's very well preserved. Look, the beams are here, see? Here are the beams attached. Look how cool this is. Wow, this place is amazing. But you might be wondering, if the town was founded in 1822 and the bridge was built in 1964, well, in the past there was also a way to transport goods, but how did they do it? With a cable car, right? In the past there was something like this, which is a kind of cart where you sit on top and using these rails, you could cross to the other side of the river.
The main export products were tobacco, coffee, and quinine, which they exported to Europe. I mean, they would cross them over and send them directly to Europe.
I'm telling you, the heat we're having is not normal. Look,
it's showing 44 degrees. Look, 44 degrees.
and I'm wearing the winter suit we left Alaska with the Gore-Tex. I don't know how I'm handling it, honestly. We're leaving Jordán, a very small town that I recommend to anyone who wants to visit. I highly recommend it. And we're gonna take a road that I don't know if it's new or not. From what Omar told me, it's a road that's not used much. We'll see what condition it's in. I can already see some loose dirt. We can't leave the trail here. Now we're going to go along the river. Look at the number of crops this man has here. Here on this farm, you can tell it's a road that's hardly used because there are a lot of loose stones.
After so many stones and so much heat, the river gives us life. Walking among these crops with the sound of water beside you is like finding an oasis in the middle of the desert, or better yet, in the middle of the canyon.
Now the temperature dropped 42 degrees because we're moving. I mean, the heat I'm feeling reminds me of times in Brazil and times in the impenetrable Chaco with the lake. Ah, it's so hot. Since there's water, there are a lot of crops along the river here. That's why there are so many farms, so many estates with so many crops. This Jordanian town was pretty much left behind by time. Obviously, because of the construction of the new road and the new bridge, which is the one we're going to cross now that it's there. I think it's about 18 kilometers from here. So once the main road was built, it's like everything else. It's very similar to what happened in the movie Cars, remember? Radiators. Prince Bueno. This is something very similar. The interstate route free.
And bye. Oh, look, I didn't have my helmet fastened. I'm so hot that I even forgot to fasten my helmet.
These fields are the green heart of the area because wherever the water reaches, everything blooms. Many of these roads still follow the paths of indigenous trails, which used the water to trade with other tribes before the arrival of the Spanish.
Oh, it's so hot. Let's use some of the best techniques for someone who's dying from the heat. Thank you.
It has a double function. It has the drone. I needed it. This is being really tough. It's been a long time since my body experienced such a sudden change in temperature.
We are in the famous Ola de Santander. Jordán not only captivates you with its history, but it also cooks you slowly. They say hell is hot, but I think here it gives it some competition.
We don't have much left. Look how this goes up. This is a relatively new path. When I say new, I mean it's probably about 40 years old, give or take. Before, it was more of a mule path, and they ended up widening it for vehicles. 40 degrees, come on. The temperature has already dropped. It's cold now. Whoa, the backpack is heavy too. Up, up, all the way to the clouds. The bridge road, the one we saw today, belonged to the old Royal Road, which was precisely used for trade between Bucaramanga and Cuba. But to get there, there was a whole mountain path which many people walk. It's a very well-known path for those who like trekking because it's like the Inca Trail, so to speak. It's long, quite long. Here you can't even sit down. I've been standing for, I don't know, like 20 minutes. It's incredible how your body shifts from one extreme to another, right? Notice how the ground's color has changed. I'm starting to see a lot of cactus. Look, here we have onions. Let's go pantos. Let's go onions and pante, damn it. That's it. Oof. The path is long. We've covered some good kilometers. Well, now it's true, never better said. Asphalt, how I love you, asphalt. And we're heading towards Bucaramanga, Cúcuta to cross the great border. The land has ended.
The enjoyment of curves begins inside the Chicamocha Canyon.
All right, we're crossing the Chicamocha River. This was the bridge that replaced the one I showed you in Jordán and the one that made all the traffic easier. Imagine that a lot of truck traffic comes through here, people moving from one place to another, and it's one of the main routes to get to the Department of Santander and obviously to Bucaramanga, right? And also if you want to cross into Venezuela and so on. Times have changed, the toll has changed, and now a different type of travel is used. Those motorcycle bays are made for non-touring bikes, I think. Some of them are pretty narrow. Let me tell you, I'm going to do something I need. Hello, how are you? All good? Can I ask you a big favor? I'm about to die from the heat. Can I take a little bit of water? Call with my salvation. Thank you.
Gracias.
For Cúcuta, thank you, I needed it. Now you could say we're fine as I am. Thank you, see you later. Now with the little breeze, this is a technique that I tell you to do whenever you can. When it's really, really hot, you wet your inner shirt and put your jacket on top. Then with the little breeze, it gives you natural cooling. It's great because the shirt is exactly in the shade. I did that a lot in Brazil in 2022 and I swear it worked for me all the time. I used to do it, I got all wet and stayed like that. I was super cool, music.
Already feeling cool, like a lettuce, we crossed the city of Bucaramanga to look for good weather at the top of the mountains.
Music. I just stopped to refuel. We've already passed Bucaramanga and we're heading straight to Cúcuta. We have about 3.5 hours left on the road. Now it's time to cross the Paramo. A very high part where the temperature will surely drop a lot and we might get some rain. Let's hope not. Let's go. Follow me. Good people. Music now. The temperature now is 31 degrees, great music, everything's perfect, full tank, happy heart. Look at the whole city of Bucaramanga here to my left, how beautiful. Something really crazy that's happening to me now in South America, at least here in Colombia, is that the roads are so winding. Just imagine, we went from one extreme to another. We went from doing endless routes that were straight for thousands and thousands of kilometers to doing routes that are super busy. Curve after curve. You literally don't make any progress. Over there, you can do 100 kilometers in about 50 minutes if you're going at a good speed. Here, no. 100 kilometers take you 2.5 hours. It's literal, it's the opposite, completely the other way around. Well, here the vegetation is already starting to change a bit. The temperature is already 24 degrees. Honestly, the weather is really nice. Luckily, for now, the traffic is pretty clear compared to the trucks we had at the beginning. We're just slowly getting into it.
Dentro de las nubes también.
Altitude. Let me tell you, this is the 5th time I'm taking this route because the first time I went all the way to the border with Venezuela to renew my stay. I went there and came back. I didn't enter Venezuela because it was closed. It was at the end of 2022 and then when the border opened in 2023. I crossed into Venezuela in March or April of 2023. And that was the 3rd time I went. The 4th was when I returned to Colombia and this is the 5th time. Lucky me.
Venezuela.
For the new ones, have they joined the journey? Let me tell you that in 2022, we traveled through a large part of Colombia, entering through Ecuador, going through the center of the country, its coast, all the way to La Guajira at Punta Galinas. And in 2023, when Venezuela opened its land borders, I decided to go in and travel for 4 months. Frutarlo como nunca.
The place from city to city from yesterday and I have a everything okay? Were you coming like crazy or were you behind? Normal. From Argentina?
De Argentina.
Now I'm even going to Venezuela. The good thing about these checkpoints is that when they let you through, you have the whole road clear. Because motorcycles are the first to go through, so we don't have any traffic. We're getting higher and higher. And notice how the weather changes too, and the landscape changes. Because now we're starting to see a different kind of vegetation. Like for example, look who showed up. The pine tree, look here we have pine trees that grow more. At this altitude, this climate with this cold that actually it's 20 degrees, but notice how the climate changes. In just a few kilometers,
The road, with every kilometer that passes, turns into an endless serpent climbing the mountain. Each curve is another step toward the sky and toward the cold. Music?
we're already in the Paramo up here. Look at this. It's like a spectacular valley at 3,200 meters above sea level. 3,260, we're here. You can feel it a little. The altitude is amazing. Today I'm in chill mode. We're going relaxed, enjoying it. I have to say I love this climate and this geography. So a bit up in the mountains with a little chill, 17 degrees. Actually it's great, but since we came from 44 degrees, just imagine your body at 44 degrees and now of course you're at 17. And it's like when we were in Canada, it was -2 degrees, -3 degrees. It's a privilege that we got such a clear day like this. Music.
We are crossing the famous Berlin Moorland. This green sea isn't grass, it's onion. Berlin is the pantry of half of Colombia, and here people get up early in the cold to grow the famous Junca onion. It's incredible to see how life and work flourish at more than 3,000 meters above sea level.
Music. How can I explain how much I'm enjoying this road? It has no name. It's the 5th time I'm passing through here, and it's the first time I'm doing it with such special, spectacular weather. I can't believe it. I'm really happy. I'm enjoying it like a kid. Besides, I really missed these landscapes. I was enjoying the road so much that just imagine I forgot to stop for lunch. So now I'm going to look for a little place. Let's see if there's music.
Berlin is not just a point on the map, it's another world. Out of the fog appear the guardians of the water, which are the frailejones, silence, wind, cold, and nature in its purest state. But right now, the body needs to recharge, so a technical stop is a must.
All right, let's eat something. I asked if I could have a little table outside, and the guys, really nice, brought out a table for me so I could get a bit of sunshine, which I really needed. We stopped in this tiny little town, really small, called Pachaucal. The town is very nice and, well, that's it. I'm going to have some soup, just like you're supposed to here, sitting in the sun. I want to show you the new gear. I've been showing you on one hand the new Camelback. It's great, check it out. From Hibby, the Hibby Canyon. And what's good about it compared to the previous one I had is that it has double pockets. Yeah. Check it out. There's one here that's pretty spacious, pretty big. Well, I have a bit of everything, but I can fit a lot more things and they're looser than in the previous one. And here I also have another little pocket where the Camelback bag goes, and you can also put other things in it. So honestly, it's really, really good. I loved it. On the other hand, we also have a new bag. Hibby, of course, this one has a different layout than the previous one. It's really good, very spacious. Unlike the other one, this one has 2 straps, here, here, and here, so it stays closed better. And finally, which for me is the star, are the saddlebags. Saddlebags. Hibby Canyon as well, which, well, they're already a bit marked. I already gave them a few kisses against the road we took on the train the other day. Look how nice they are, and the good thing about this, which I really love, is that it makes it easier because you don't have to open the saddlebag. For example, it has a storage space here. For instance, we open here and we have a storage space. Look, it's totally waterproof, and I have things here. For example, you can put zip ties or things you need to access more quickly, right? To take out sometimes, I don't know, if you don't want to lose them, the keys, I also keep them there, the ones for the saddlebag. Well, honestly, it's really complete and I really love it. I'm enjoying it a lot. This food I'm about to eat looks delicious. What is your name? Luli? Thank you very much, Luli. You have no idea how hungry I am. Ladies and gentlemen, as God intended and as it should be, we're starting with the soup. Oh, look, what I like the most is that, for example, this soup, these potatoes are grown right here, literally in the backyard of the house. Everything is grown here. It has a lot of crops. There's even a bit of wild greens mixed into the soup, all from around here. For me, that gives all these foods much more value. That's why sometimes it's hard for me to cook while traveling, especially here in South America. Because there are so many delicious things made on the street, so many tasty things that I prefer to stop and taste the different flavors of each place. Second course, meat, local potatoes, tomato, lettuce, cucumber, and natural peach juice. That's included too.
Thank you.
The delicacy. We in Argentina have a tradition, right? That after meals we usually have a little coffee, something warm to warm up the body. And at any time really, at night, even if it's midnight, we have coffee. There are many places where people say, no, I won't be able to sleep anymore. Well, we're used to it. And here I ordered a corn arepa, right? Chocolo, which is corn, yes, right? Exactly, with cheese, so it's grilled. Is everything grown here?
Yes, of course. The corn is harvested. Yes. That tender corn is shelled and mixed with panela. A syrup is made, you add it, and you let it. That's why it gets that color. It absorbs well. After 1 or 2 days, you let it dry. It dries, but not completely, just halfway. Then you make the little balls, like this. It has its process.
Yes. Everything you make here, most of what you cook, is produced locally, right? Yes, the trout is from here. Do you have trout as well? Yes. Oh, that's delicious. And that's it. Delicious, of course. The meat, same thing. The meat is from here as well. That's great and delicious. All the pork loin comes from pigs here. This couldn't be more natural. That's why I tell you, you have to stop and eat here at Los Paraderos, which for me is the best food. Thank you for everything. It was delicious. Bye, Eduardo. See you later. As the saying goes, full belly, happy heart. Everything was so delicious, Cebola. Everything you ate was so good. There's nothing that makes me happier than these moments. Food, continuing the journey, good weather, good music, everything. Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. Do you know how much it cost me? The food. About 18,000 Colombian pesos, which is a total of about $5. On top of that, it's very cheap. And for example, Eduardo, he had accommodation there. And he told me that a night in a private room with private company and everything costs 40,000 pesos. 40,000 pesos is $12, just so you get an idea. How has the trip changed now? The truth is that the United States, Canada, and Al-Haka were very expensive. I mean, just imagine that with one night of what we paid over there, just one night, for me it was $80. I ended up paying, I don't know, 130, 140 for one night because I had no other choice. I just didn't have any options. Just imagine that here, with that amount, I could stay for 15 days straight. 15 days, right? It's something you just can't understand. We're continuing on the road toward Cúcuta. We have about an hour, maybe an hour and a half left of the trip, and that's it. We're almost there. We're getting closer to the border with Venezuela.
The curves are coming to an end and the law of the jungle begins. Last kilometers of the day and the anxiety is rising because Cúcuta is not just a city. It's the gateway in and out of our future routes.
We've arrived at the last city in Colombia on the border with Venezuela. Welcome to Cúcuta. Very good morning, Cúcuta. We're just minutes away from crossing the border between Colombia and Venezuela. If everything goes well, today, in just a little while, we'll cross into Venezuela. So let's get started. Let's go. Cúcuta, a hot city, if there ever was one. 31 degrees, it's not that hot. I've experienced much hotter weather here in Cúcuta. The border with Venezuela is right here, very close to Cúcuta. What a beautiful day we have, and what beautiful days we've been having. I'm telling you, Pantera, when I was in Colombia, everything happened for a reason. With the wait, it was literally, I don't know, 10 days in a row, 9 days in a row of rain. It was crazy, and in this whole area, it just wouldn't stop raining. Last night, when I got to the city, I filled up the tank just in case.
Still, Venezuela isn't having fuel problems now like it did back when I first entered.
But anyway, whenever we enter a new country, you should always fill up the tank beforehand. Just in case, always remember that. You never know what kind of issue you might have with the currency, with your card or whatever, or where there's a gas station to fill up. You never know. Look at this sign. Look at this sign. Venezuela, Venezuela, Venezuela. Here we go, Venezuela. Oh, you can't imagine the joy and excitement I feel about coming back to Venezuela.
Venezuela was such an important country for me on this trip that I have a lot of affection for Venezuela and its people. First, I have to do the exit to Colombia here at immigration and at the Dirección de Impuestos y Aduanas Nacionales. Let's see, travelers, let's keep going through the travelers line. To cross into Venezuela, you have the Rio Negro border, which is further over there to the left. Or if not, you have this one, which is the Tienditas border, which is the most well-known, let's say, for travelers because it's calmer. There's not much traffic, it's farther away, but the San Antonio border is the one that's most used by people on foot. So, a lot of people. Hello, hello. How are you? I'm here to do immigration procedures. And perfect. And then to the Dirección de Impuestos y Aduanas Nacionales is... To the room. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes, but he told me I had to make a U-turn and then come this way. Thank you.
Thank you, because nobody knows here. I mean, there's no one here, and well, borders.
Chapter 3, 174. Let the show begin. Anyway, this is the exit from Colombia.
No problem, just like the entrance to Venezuela. The last time I came in here, there was a donkey. I remember here.
Colombian border exit.
All right, now to the Dirección de Impuestos y Aduanas Nacionales towards the motorcycle exit.
The border is now legally out of Colombia, and we're going to cross into Venezuela. It's incredible how deserted the border is. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Heading to Venezuela, gentlemen, what joy, what immense joy. To return, to return, to return. We crossed the Táchira River, and here we have the border of our beloved, very active Venezuela. How nice to be back. How nice. Venezuela, we're back. Here we are. Welcome to my beloved Venezuela. After 3 years, we're going to try to cross the border, but things have changed a lot, so let's see how it goes for us. Hello. Go ahead, thank you. Well, things they ask you for.
Hi.
How are you? Everything good?
Good. With heat. Argentinian. Look at what you're going to do. Tell me, you're going to park your motorcycle over there and head over to the immigration office? Okay, perfect.
I do the whole process.
We'll see which one is available to fill in then.
All right. I'll let you know how this is going. Welcome to Venezuela. Let's go, damn it. Oh, I'm so excited. It took me an hour and a half to get in. I'm the only person here who had to do 3 interviews. We're in Venezuela.
Now officially welcome to Venezuela, everyone. Hello, Venezuela. I love you so much. I missed you so much. Oh God, how wonderful it is to be able to come back in. It feels so good to be back on Venezuelan soil.
I want to tell you that we reached 100,000 followers here. The love from Venezuelans coming back in 2023 after so much, right? That the border opened, and with the kindness and affection that Venezuelans have shown me, it was something incredible that I am grateful for every day. And I have met many Venezuelans all over America. And honestly, they have made me feel like family. That's why I love them in Venezuela so much. And I feel so happy to come back in. Thank you. From Argentina, thank you. Now we have to register Pantera, and I also have to get insurance for Pante. And that's it, we're in. The interviews were long, let me tell you, the ones they gave me. Because there's a bit of uncertainty about all that. Yes, they have checked my social media. Obviously, I'm always honest, I have nothing to hide. I told them I was there in 2023 and said I documented everything. On my YouTube channel, I talk about nothing but travel, good vibes, and that's it, you already know that. Well, they also checked my phone right in front of me, photos, WhatsApp conversations, and they told me everything was fine. And I had the cameras with me. Obviously, I didn't record anything inside, I couldn't even use my phone. I arrived with the cameras and started recording and they saw me. That wasn't a problem. But there are a lot of checkpoints. Well, now we're in the border area, on the border with Colombia, so obviously there are a lot of controls. From what you saw when I came in, there's the Taquita River. Well, that Taquita River has some spots where you can, sneak through. So, that's also why there are so many checkpoints around here. What hasn't changed at all though are the potholes that were on this street. I've driven down this street 6 times and the potholes haven't changed. I even remember them and gave them names. Well, now we're in San Antonio, which is the other border I was telling you about, the one that's on this side. We came in through Tienditas, which is about 10 kilometers from here. Now we're in San Antonio, where I need to register the motorcycle. What's going on? Here, San Antonio is very close to Cúcuta, right next to Cúcuta. So, what happens is that a lot of people come in on foot, there's a lot of traffic. First, it takes you longer. Second, you have to leave the motorcycle there alone with lots of people around. Hello? How are you? How are you? I'm here to check in the motorcycle. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Sebastian Villanueva. Sebastian Villanueva. It's a pleasure to see you again. Everything is checked in right here. I'm here to see Alexander, who works here in customs and at the CENIAT. It's called CENIAT here in Venezuela. He has always helped us with everything when it comes to entering and so on. Well, it's already night. We spent several hours in the immigration area, and now we already have the entry to Pantera ready. But I'm here with Alexander, a great friend who has helped us with entries and exits to Venezuela in 2023. And he's still here standing strong. Strong. Thank you. Thank you for everything. And I also want to tell you that Alexander, to many travelers who have come and written to me and so on, I've asked them to give him a hand and so on. Honestly, he's always been very attentive to all the travelers. Thank you.
You're welcome, Sebastian Villanueva, and welcome again to Venezuela. We've already given you the vehicle permit under the tourist regime so you can travel all around our beautiful Venezuela.
Beautiful Venezuela.
Welcome again. Thank you.
Dad, it's a pleasure to see you again and to travel around Venezuela as it deserves.
That's right. You'll enjoy it as always.
Let's go to Venezuela, damn it. Alex, my friend, get to it. Thank you, brother. Take care of me. Thank you, brother. Good to see you again. We'll keep in touch, all right? Venezuela officially begins. Thank you, all right? Bye. Bye, guys. Oh, what a joy. Honestly, this is great. I'm so happy. Pante? You're crazy. Do you know where we are? We're back, Pante. We're back in Venezuela. Here we are. Just like that, welcome. This is where Venezuela begins. Good morning, San Cristobal. Good morning, Venezuela. It's so nice to be back on Venezuelan soil. Many will remember my time in Venezuela. And I'm here with my great friend Ronald.
Once again, welcome, Alex, my dear brother.
Did you get me Venezuelan citizenship yet?
Yeah, we're just waiting to go get the photo taken.
Perfect. It was hard to get in, but I made it. Well, but you're here now. We're here. So yeah.
Let's see if you can leave here in Venezuela.
Thank you again for having me. It's great to see you after 3 years.
3 years? This is your home. Yes, thank you. You are always welcome here. We welcome you with a lot of affection. Besides, you do practically what we are passionate about, which is traveling around the world. We both travel in our own ways. You in yours and I in mine. But well, that's what brings us together.
And yes, exactly. So now we're going to do something to Pantera because I don't know if you remember in Miami when we changed the Bendix, here when you close the cover of this part of the engine, you have to seal it. What happened? We sealed it, but there was a very small leak in one part of a sensor, which is our fault. We didn't seal it properly. It wasn't completely sealed. That's something you have to do very, very precisely. So you're losing me here. A bit of oil, right? It's a leak that's right in here, exactly at this joint. Ronald has a workshop right here, so we're going to take it to the guys so they can remove it. It's just a matter of taking off this cover, removing it, cleaning here, and sealing it properly. So it's a very simple job, but it has to be done carefully and well. Let's head to the workshop. Welcome back to Venezuela and to the city of cordiality. Founded in 1561, San Cristobal welcomes us among its mountains with its sports city where the sacred temple of soccer is, with Deportivo Táchira. Also the Bull Ring, the famous velodrome from the 1977 Cycling World Championship, and the baseball stadium. And a structure with endless facilities to practice any kind of sport, music. How nice it is to see friends again, to meet up with those who were so important here on the trip, honestly. I think yesterday, I'm not sure if I explained everything about how the entry process went, but I had 3 interviews with 3 different officials, in 3 different offices as well, each one more gloomy than the last. The first interviewer looked very unfriendly. He wanted to scare me a bit. Then they checked my phone, photos, and WhatsApp to ensure I had nothing against the government. Also, something I don't know if I mentioned, but anyway, they took a picture of me against the wall with my passport, and they also recorded a video of me. Yeah, they filmed me against the wall with my passport, saying who I am, why I came to Venezuela, and what exactly my plan is in the country. They're pretty strict about that. They kept me for a total of 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but the craziest thing about all this is that there was no one else. I mean, I was the only person who had entered that way. Going through immigration, you know? There was no one else. No one else. Imagine if there had been more people. But anyway, the important thing is that we're in now. Despite everything, knowing that I was coming to record, to make content and all that, being Argentinian, which is also important given the current situation between the government and Argentina, with all those factors, we got in. So that's a positive on that side. But well, I always believe in good vibes. That everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, and here we are. Now first, Pante to the spa. San Cristobal is the capital of Táchira and the heart of the Venezuelan Andes. Here people are friendly by nature and the coffee is taken strong. San Cristobal is famous for its San Sebastian International Fair and for having a unique identity on the border. Among its steep streets, it is the economic and educational center of the region. Well, after a day, a panther is already finished, so we came to look for it. But before that, I want to show you some little gems they have here. Check this out, GS 1150 from 2003. Look at this machine, this beauty, it's flawless. Old school, the tough ones. Then we have this Rensport 100 from 76. Look at the condition it's in. They brought it in to restore, but check out the shape it's in. It's a 1000 engine and it also has the Boxer engine, classic for BMW. And we also have another gem here, which is an F800 ST, and look at this feature. It has a belt, not a chain. Well, here we are enjoying ourselves, and as always, the queen here, the Japanese one among all the Germans, we have Pantera. All set right here. Look how everything is sealed. I stuck my finger in here, already messed it up. That's what happens when you touch things. You know when they say don't stick your finger in here? Well, you always end up sticking your finger in anyway. I thought it was dry, but oh well. That's it, it's done. It doesn't leak oil, they've already tested it, and it's ready to rack up a lot of miles in Venezuela. Dear Hector, thank you man, thanks for everything. It's all set, I touched it by accident, but it's fine. See you, thanks. Alright, now it's ready. Sunset really annoys me. It's crazy, because we had just done the service in the United States, and it only had 500 kilometers on the oil. That's it, that's all. I mean, I had to change everything again, the oil, because obviously it was drained to seal it. But well, these things happen, honestly. Plus, the oil Pantera uses is expensive and requires 4 liters. The main thing is, we can keep traveling, which matters most. The important thing is that from here our journey through Venezuela begins. It's so nice to be home again.